roll the tape for this lightweight fight. 11 years the elder, the native of Mexico City.
Yeah, and we got exactly Caballero younger, the favorite. Took the fight on the proper time's notice.
Yeah.
Had plenty of time to train, a little shorter, but you're going to notice, and it has less reach, but you're going to notice that he's very adept at cutting off the ring.
Very much
getting
so.
to that body. Or cutting off the trigon, should I say.
Yes, indeed. Here we go. Right away, he comes out firing. In the red is Pablo Caballero. His opponent, El Azteca, in the blue. Looking to use a long jab. Look at the movement.
You know, he's coming out technical instead of... Oh, nice right hand there by Caballero.
Gilberto loves that Mexican style left side heavy boxing.
And let me tell you, Pablo Caballero is cut on the left eye. He must have got hit with a good shot in the midst of all this excitement. And this is the thing. I think Caballero came out a little bit too excited.
Yeah. And
he's doing some good damage. He can do some good work. He's probably winning the round, but in coming out too excited and not staying calm, especially in Bareknuckle, you can walk into a shot that can do that damage already, you know?
And you look at Aguilar, look at the legs, look at the strength of the lower body of the long 41-year-old, Gilberto Aguilar, utilizing some Muay Thai.
And he's very calm on the fire, Aguilar. No, he's got Caballero all over the place, effectively all over the place, but nonetheless all over the place. But he's not losing his composure despite Caballero's intensity.
23 professional MMA fights, accidental headbutt.
Aguilar, maybe it was an accident. Maybe Aguilar did it on purpose. Who knows?
I call them all accidental. You know better, Paul.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Oh, there's another one. You see what he does? He kind of comes in there.
Yeah.
Caballero getting the better of the round, but Aguilar is durable, and he's not going anywhere.
And it is worthy of note, Paulie, that he may be 0-2 in Bareknuckle, but both of those fights went to a decision. So he hasn't been stopped.
Yeah, and you can see he's not uncomfortable. He seems like he's in here for the long haul. And he's been able to do some damage already to Caballero, despite, you know, getting the less of the action so far, getting less of the advantage so far in the round, I feel.
Late opponent change, but he looks good, doesn't he?
Yeah, and the damage can stay with you, you know. Let's see if Caballero can also keep up this intensity, because, you know, you're setting a torrid pace. If you got a guy who's going to stay in the fight, you see if this affects you later on.
Good head movement there by Aguilar, and then to the body goes Caballero.
And Caballero has not drawn blood out of Aguilar as well. One good cut deserves another, right?
Absolutely. Swelling over the left eye of El Azteca in the blue. Final seconds of the round.
And both guys have damage to the left eye. Good round, good action round, both guys.
That was fun 3 minutes right there. See the stare in the eyes of Gilberto? That's a real. His gym is called Real Fighters of Mexico, and that was the stare of a real fighter from Mexico.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's the kind of the grade on the Mexican fighters, is they always come to fight, right?
Yeah.
And so you can never take any of them too lightly, as it's not just part of the fighting culture, it's part of the culture in general to be proud of their fighters. So they know the whole culture is behind them whenever they get in there. So no matter how calm, and I'll tell you, I'm guilty of that. I thought Aguilar was a little bit too calm, took this fight on last minute notice, wasn't sure what to expect of him. I mean, despite the intensity of Pablo, Aguilar is very comfortable in here.
Very much so. And of course, Patty Juarez, our first champion. They're going to check the cut on Caballero.
They're already checking Caballero's eye.
Yeah. He's good to go.
He's fine. He didn't take a lot of damage.
And Patty's big sister, Barbie, is really the female face of Mexican boxing as we get to round number 2.
I tell you, Caballero on the inside looks smaller.
Well, he's 2 inches shorter. He weighed in 5 pounds less, but again, look at the legs and the power of Gilberto. He's long and lean, but there's power there too.
Nice little uppercut there, timed by Gilberto Aguilar. And let me tell you something else about Aguilar. He came down from a heavy weight and not that long of a time, so that means you probably dry it out and then jump right back up in weight overnight. There's nice little uppercuts there on the inside.
He did start in kickboxing, then amateur boxing, a lot of MMA. 14 victories, finished 11 of his 14 wins, 8 by knockout, lost only once in 23 professional MMA bouts by KO or TKO. His bare knuckle go to decision.
Yeah, he's a durable guy.
Absolutely.
When you got to fight on your hands when you're in there with him.
Man, and he is going at it. 2 of his 3 pro boxing bouts went the distance, Paulie.
And this is what I mean about Caballero. Started the fight very intensely. You got to be careful. Oh, good job. Good right hand there by Caballero. Nicely set up with a left hand to the body and then the right hand over the top. He got Aguilar looking low with the body shot and surprised him with the right hand up top. Nice combination. Put it together nicely and landed it very
good jab by Aguilar.
Aguilar has had a nice jab throughout this round.
A lot of swelling on the left eye of Pablo Caballero.
Yeah, and that jab is going to keep that swelling and blood coming. Aguilar with a sharp jab. And I like the way he disguises sometimes. He just turns it into a little smacking left hook. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't do all the damage, but what it does is it changes the trajectory of the left hand, and it keeps Caballero from being able to anticipate which direction, which angle the left hand's coming from. So without being able to anticipate it, the jab keeps surprising you.
Round number 2, fight scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. And we have ourselves an outstanding matchup here.
Good skill fight. Battle of intensity. Both guys' body language tells you they're not going anywhere. And that jab of Aguilar is giving Caballero trouble. Caballero's doing his own good work, but it is getting the respect of Caballero. He can't just close the gap like he wants to now. And now he's turning southpaw to try to figure out. He's gone back to the right-handed stance now.
And Gilberto with a 4-inch reach advantage, utilizing all of it and more. Final seconds of the round. If you're scoring this fight, how's it going so far?
I'll tell you, man, it's close. I might have Aguilar with a slight advantage so far in the fight, but it's close. I mean, I think the first round, you know what? I'd say the first round you probably give it to Caballero. So, you know what? I'd say 1-1. But in terms of overall action, the way the momentum I see going in the fight, I see slightly tilting towards Aguilar. He seems the fresher of the two, and he seems the less confused of the two. You see here the action from that last round. On the inside, there's a headbutt right at the end of the replay. Yeah. Aguilar also has that little sneak up headbutt inside.
Landed a good right hand right there, Paulie.
Yeah.
And then the uppercut that you talked about.
Caballero. So good work. Wait, Caballero can close the gap, but I think as he fatigues a little more because he started with such intensity, he's got to be careful because he's going to be forced to respect the jab of Aguilar. When you run out of energy, it's harder to walk through those jabs. They start to affect you more. In the first round, Aguilar had a good jab, but Caballero was able to get through a lot more. I thought in the second round, Caballero's ability to get inside was a little bit delayed. Let's see as he keeps fatiguing all the way to the third round, because it doesn't take much energy and much effort for Aguilar to keep that jab pumping. But it's going to take a lot of effort for Aguilar to keep having to get past it if he keeps taking it on his face.
First time he has entered round 3. Yep, for Pablo Caballero. As I mentioned, both of the bare knuckle battles for Gilberto have gone the 5-round distance, 5 3-minute rounds. Caballero, a veteran of 16 professional MMA bouts as well.
I think Caballero's trying a lot of things, lefty, righty. He's not punching from a lot of the angles. Then he comes out with a right-handed stance and punches. Good combination there. He's expending a lot of energy trying to confuse Aguilar. And he's getting through. Oh, big.
That works.
And that was from the southpaw stance.
Yes.
So that's one way to get around the jab of a right-hander.
That was a great switch of the stance, and then he delivered a big shot.
Good body shot by Caballero.
Switches that stance again.
I tell you, Aguilar will be well suited to cut off the ring a little bit when Caballero starts getting into that circling motion where he's just able to change angles and get around. A nice jab there by Aguilar as Caballero was looking for the uppercut from too far away.
Doctors have checked the eye of Pablo Caballero after both the first and second round. As you can see, he's still good to go. He's good to fight.
So yeah, Caballero's figured something out here. In that change of stance, he's been able to land some solid crosses from the left-hand position. He's trying it again. There it is again.
Yes.
And you know, at this point, now you've taken about 4 or 5.
And again.
Aguilar's got to start to see, okay, I see what's coming. I know how it's going to be. I got to counter it now. I've got to be ready for it. He's taking, you fooled me once, you know, shame on me, on you. Fooled me twice, now it's shame on me. He's been fooled about 4 or 5 times now in the same round. There it is again.
And it also takes his head off center from the jab of his opponent, which has been his most effective punch.
Of course, but he also, you do have Caballero lunging in with that left hand because he's got to close the gap. So although, yeah, he's out of the way of the jab, he's lunging in. You can kind of half step back and counter him with your own right hand.
Right.
You've got to have another set punch ready, another set trap. There it is again. He got him to miss there, but no return. And more left hands from Caballero.
I would bet, Paulie, not just for offense, much to your point, we've seen him deliver some good shots, but to protect that left eye as well.
Yeah, absolutely, because he's also not paying for it. I mean, if he does take a shot, it's going to be on his right eye if he's in that stance.
Yes.
Here he is again on the southpaw stance. You know what? Maybe Aguilar some guys just have trouble with southpaws. I don't know, every time Caballero gets in the southpaw stance, I mean, he can't miss that left hand.
Really good round for Pablo Caballero. Tonight we are inside the James L. Knight Center in beautiful Miami, Florida. Our main event of the evening is for the Cruiserweight Championship. 2 men who got it started in the backyard will battle it out for the belt. Rene Rodriguez and Jomi Escoboza. Set for the start of round number 4. Mike Goldberg, the 2-time world champion, Paulie Malignaggi, Claudia Trejos, Al Bernstein, Dada 5000, Bob Alexander. Great to be here tonight as BYB Extreme 7 has delivered in a big-time fashion. And we have seen all kinds of damage done, but all kinds of technique showcased in this matchup right here, Paul.
Yeah, adjustments made by Pablo Caballero, especially. You know, he's been the worst for wear with the eye, and you have a doctor checking him at the beginning of every round. But nonetheless, I got him up 2 rounds to 1 going into round 4. Again, the 41-year-old has gone the 5-round distance in both of his bare knuckle bouts. This is the deepest Caballero has gone in a bare knuckle matchup. He keeps that left shoulder high. Yeah, you know, the thing about the eye now, I think with Aguilar, keep targeting it with the jab. I mean, it's not a difficult punch to get off. Feint with the jab, keep shooting the jab, mix the jab. Good hook there by Caballero. Keep that eye as a target. It's hard to miss. Big right hand there by Caballero. You may be behind in the fight, but if you can keep targeting that eye, you may be able to force a stoppage or something, you know? And also, he's going to stop seeing the shots. I mean, it is, after all, you can close the eye with the left hand, but it's going to prevent Caballero from seeing the right hands. You know, so you're going to be able to throw some big right hands at him, if you're able to do that. As now Caballero's starting to try to switch back to the southpaw stance here and there. Let's see, he's in the right-handed stance now, though.
Well, his conditioning is obviously outstanding. The movement is impressive once again.
But here, I'd love to see Aguilar cut off the ring. You see here what Caballero's doing? I cut off the trigon. You see what Caballero's doing? He's being able to circle freely. And anytime you can find that escape path as you're jamming or as you're moving, you know, keeps you comfortable.
First time in the trigon for Gilberto.
But nonetheless, it's an easier thing to cut off. If you know how to cut off a ring, you're going to be able to cut off a trigon. I mean, there's less angles to escape, so you just cut them off. There's less to cut off, really, you know? But Aguilar just kind of circles in place and allows Caballero to circle the ring as he wants to. Look, Caballero's able to work and circle, and it's getting away from Aguilar when it looks promising after 2 rounds, I'd say.
The third round was by far the best round for Pablo Caballero.
Oh, good body shot. Aguilar returns the favor, though.
What a great fight. On a week's notice, Gilberto Aguilar doing a great job. 30 seconds on the clock, round 4. They split jabs.
There's that body shot with the left hand, right hand combination by Caballero that worked well from a few rounds ago. Good little shots on the inside by Aguilar, but Caballero, with the mixture of movement and picking his shots wisely, is taking control of this fight despite the damage to the eye. And again, southpaw stance, Mike.
Yep, that time with the right hand.
Yep. He followed up that left hand with the right hand. That's why you punch the punch a combination sometimes.
Yep. Caballero, Aguilar are going to head to the 5th and final round.
Time you could be with family, time you could be out. To be the best, you gotta sacrifice.
3 minutes remain.
All for one moment.
Caballero in the red, Aguilar in the blue. Round 5.
Nothing to save it for now.
Outstanding round 3 for Caballero. Good round 4. If it does go the distance, he wants to cement it on the scorecards here in round 5.
So give credit to Caballero because he's got the eye closed in round 1.
Yes.
And he kept his concentration and composure. And credit to Aguilar, despite continuing to try with the jab and completely smashing that eye. You know, he's not giving up on himself, despite the fact that Caballero hasn't given up on himself.
And I mentioned that both of his bare knuckle bouts have gone the 5-round distance,
yeah,
and
you can
we're
see
close
why.
to that again. Yeah, you can see why.
He's got a ton of character. Never looks like he's going to give up on himself. Willing to stay in there and deal with whatever you got for him, and he'll make you uncomfortable. I mean, it's not made this easy. I got Caballero ahead, but this has not been an easy fight.
Parries punches very well, blades very well. Pablo's been the more creative fighter, and that's where he scored in the 3rd and 4th, Paul.
Yeah, I think more creative, and also he's just been more intense. You know, Aguilar has had a consistent jab, but that's about it. The intensity, he hasn't had the intensity. He's kind of paced himself. He's been in one gear. Pablo Caballero has different gears. You know, he'll take it up a notch. The intensity has allowed him to get by the jab enough to score enough cleaner shots. And there it is again with the left hand out of the southpaw stance. And, you know, it's allowed him to, I think, be busier, land the better shots, and be ahead in the fight. But a well-fought fight by Aguilar. You know, he's behind, but he's making Caballero earn every dollar tonight.
Final minute of the fight.
And I want to see if Aguilar figures out the southpaw stance of Caballero, you know? Just one time if he makes him pay with a right hand or something.
That's it.
Again, I mean, the same move every time. He throws a left hand, and he spins out on the right side once he gets in that southpaw stance. See, there it is again. Let's see. That left hand, and he goes out the right way. See, I mean, at this point, you can predict it coming. Again, he's going to throw a left hand. He's going to spin out on the right side. Okay, this time he went right, and then he threw it. He switched the order.
But the most effective,
again,
Pablo Caballero has been, it's all been southpaw.
Yeah. I mean, I think if he didn't figure this out, he would have lost the fight.
And credit to Jeremiah Rodriguez in his corner for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to fight to the finish.
Hey, Aguilar let some go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did. What a great fight. That right there is what BYB Extreme Paulie is all about.
Yeah, big respect for one another. Give the crowd giving them a hand.
Yeah.
This is why guys fight. This is why fighters fight. They give everything they got, and the appreciation from the crowd makes them love it and come back for more.
This Mexico-Argentina battle is one for the highlight reel. It's not like we've seen it just in the last year or so. We've seen mixed martial artists utilize that switch stance, and even boxers are doing it a lot more, Paulie, than in the olden days, quote unquote. But I mean, so many fighters are so seamless with it now.
Yeah.
It's absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, guys, every generation, you take it from the previous generation and you're learning, you know,
Yeah.
You're adding new things, new wrinkles. They say the old school fighters are best, but you know what? The new school fighters love to copy them and then add even more wrinkles and then add the modern stuff to the style. So you're seeing a lot more wrinkles, a lot of different layers to these modern fighters.
Sure. I mean, the 1 and the 2 becomes the 2 and the 1.
Yeah,
like, I just get confused.
We saw that from Caballero just on the change of the southpaw stance.
They go the distance. It is in the hands of the judges with the official decision, Bob Alexander.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the decision, let's have a nice round of applause for both fighters, please. Ladies and gentlemen, from the James L. Knight Center in Miami, Florida, after 5 rounds of bare knuckle boxing, we go to the scorecards. Judge John Rupert scores the bout 48-47. Judges Michael Tate and Vicente Rodriguez both score the bout 49-46. For the winner, by unanimous decision, Pablo El Killer Caballero.